Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I'm Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who 42. So this is episode 7 of series 3, where the Doctor and Martha find themselves on a cargo ship in the far future, heading helplessly towards the sun. And on board this ship, one of the crew members gets exposed to something in the sun, some sort of parasite, and gets taken over by this force, and opens his eyes, and when opening so, burns the person to a crisp till they're nothing but a shadow on the wall, and says to them, "Burn with me." And of course the Doctor goes out to try and combat this as well, and also Martha gets stranded onto an escape pod heading towards the sun, and the Doctor vows to save her, which he does do by calling the escape pod back. But by doing that, he has to go outside and look into the sun, and he ends up looking into the sun and gets taken over by this parasite. And for a brief moment, the Doctor is weak, and also mentions that he is genuinely scared of this parasite that's took over him. And Martha returns the favour by trying to save the Doctor, and of course, she does save the Doctor and the ship by draining the sun power out of it. And so, along with the parasite, so the Doctor is no longer taken over by this sun entity, and the ship's Captain McDonald, played by Michelle Collins, has herself taken out by her own husband, who is infected with this sun. And of course, at the end, the Doctor takes to Martha and finally gives her a TARDIS key. Like he's finally welcoming her into it. So what did I like about this episode? Well, I thought the performances with David Tennant was good, especially when he was taken over by the sun and was trying to explain the regeneration to Martha, but couldn't quite get it. And also, he mentions, tries to mention it to her. And what would happen if the Doctor did regenerate with that sun entity? Would he be like an evil Sun 11th Doctor or something? But yeah, I thought David Tennant did a great performance in this, along with Freema Ageyman. Also, the medical officer in this episode was played by the same actress who would return later on in the show as Rosa Parks. Can't remember her name now, but when we were watching behind the scenes of Rosa, they explained that. I also thought Michelle Collins was alright in this. Of course, a lot of people would know her as Cindy Beale in the soap EastEnders. I feel that she wasn't given enough time to shine, not a lot of character development. I feel that a lot of the side characters in this didn't really get their time to shine. No pun intended there. But the monster of the week, which was like a parasite from the sun, taking over saying, "Burn with me." And opening his eyes and then putting on this mask to try and, block out the light and sharing it, that's a very unnerving moment there with the whole sun, but not much is really explained from it. The Doctor looks at it and says it's alive, the sun. But yeah, this is definitely none other than your typical filler episode. Not a lot really goes on in it. We see Martha's mother feature in it too, where Martha's making phone calls to her mother about pub quiz, because there's a moment where they need to get through doors and answer pub quiz questions. But then we have that sinister team that are listening in, and we again mention Mr. Saxon. Of course, like I say, we know who he is now. But I think that was one interesting point in the episode. But yeah, this one, I thought it had good visual effects, but at one point I feel the effects were just probably one of the key points of it. And yeah, like I say, this I feel is probably the weakest episode in Series 3. But of course, there are going to be people out there that do genuinely like this episode. For me personally, it's just not my favourite one. So, my ratings. Performances, I'll give them an 8. The writing is 7. Visuals, an 8. And my personal, I'll give this a 7 because, like I say, to me, not the best episode. But that's the thing with the show sometimes. It has that one episode in the series that you're not a fan of, and I think this was the one for me in this one. So yeah, there you go. There's my review on Doctor Who 42. Have you seen it? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Do you like it better than me? Anyway, yeah. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe and hit that notification bell. All my social media links are linked down below in the description, so feel free to check all that out. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Who review. So, until next time, run for your life.